Hi everyone, it's Ann here from Stamp with Ann. I'm excited to be with you. Welcome to my happy space, aka my studio. This is where you will find me majority of the days. I love spending time in here and creating. It truly is my happy place. Welcome to our weekly video. This week, I am showcasing the Prairie Grass Stamp Set. So each week, if you're new to my channel, each week I pick a product of the week and I come live to you on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I showcase a scrapbook page around our product. And then on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I will be showcasing you 3 cards. Now, I usually go live on Facebook, but Facebook is giving us a little bit of some trouble these days. So we are going live. Not live, I am recording a video, so we might have to do this for a few weeks until I figure things out, but welcome. So this week I am showcasing the Prairie Grass Stamp Set. I love this stamp set. It is one of those stamp sets that is a keeper, and I will keep it in my collection for a long time. I love the greetings. The greetings are one of those stamp sets that you want to have on hand to help send a card to those that are going through some hard times. I love the saying, sometimes life is just hard. Sending the healing power of love. You're not alone. I'm here for you. So very sorry, and my shoulder is yours. This stamp set has been very popular. I have had this in my shopping cart so many times, and when I go to place my order, the order is gone. The stamp set is gone because it's been back ordered or unavailable. Right now it's current, but I wouldn't wait too long if you're thinking you want this in your collection, because trust me, it will go very quickly. This stamp set leads to wonderful ways of doing some background stamp sets. Tonight I'm going to show you some masking techniques and some background stamping. And then I'm going to show you some other ways that I've used this product. So let's dive in. So first of all, Prairie Grass is a cling stamp. It is red rubber. And if you follow Stampin' Up! Or Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, you might have heard that Stampin' Up! Is discontinuing the red rubber as of moving forward. Starting in November, all new stamp sets made will carry the photo palmer. Anything with red rubber will phase out when its product life is done. Also this week, I always like to show you my product of the week. So this week I'm showcasing the Prairie Grass. Here is this item number in the Canadian dollar value. And I'm also showing you masking paper. Here is the number and here is the Canadian price. And you can head to my website or you can head to my blog and click shop now. That is the best way to do that. And then start your shopping. I would love to help you out if you're a Canadian and are not working with another demonstrator. Please let me know. Also, next week is a big week in the world of Stampin' Up! Let me show you why. First of all, we have our mini catalog is going to go live on September 3rd. This mini catalog is filled to the brim with exciting new product. I cannot wait to share with you and some videos and upcoming social media. Also in September is the release of our online exclusives. I wish I could show you what was inside these catalogs, but I can't. I have to wait till September 3rd. So, as I said, I'm excited to dive in everything fall. It has been very cool here this week in Southwest Ontario, where the temperatures have been like 19, 18. This is my kind of weather. I'm loving it. All right, so let's dive into our project. So the first one we're making is this one. It is showcasing the in colors of Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Darling Duck, and Timid Tiger. I'm going to show you how to create a stencil and do some blending. And we're going to create this card right here. So let's dive in and get started. Now, with this video, I will upload it. It will be on YouTube. It will also be on my blog. And I will post all the measurements on YouTube and on my blog so you can recreate these cards at home. All right, so let's dive in. My base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. My layer is Secret Sea, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. So we can actually, I'm just going to set these aside. And our white is basic white, and it is a 3 3/4 by 5. Now we're going to do a little bit of blending. So let's bring in a clear little sheet here. All right. Now, let me just get everything back out. Like I said, I did a video last night, and yeah, we're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to move on, and we're going to pivot. That's what we're going to do. We're going to pivot. All right, so what I did was I used my, let me just get everything out here. I used my 2 3/8 circle punch, and what I did was I just cut a piece of cardstock and I punched a hole to create this stencil. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to use Post-it tape, or you can use washi tape, probably Post-it tape or painter's tape. You want something that is not going to rip your paper. So we're just going to put it right here. Now we're going to do a little bit of blending. So we are using Darling Duck and Timid Tiger, which are the 2025-2027 in colors. These are the colors that Stampin' Up! Says, hey, these colors are going to be hot for the next little while. We should have them, and they're very trendy, so very, very trendy. I'm just making sure my video is still going. Oh my goodness. All right, so Timid Tiger. I am using our blending brushes. I am using the small blending brush. We have a small and a large. I'm going to show you the large in a minute. I prefer the small because I find I have more control over it and it fits easier in the hand. And what I like to do with my label maker is label them so I know that this is always going to be Darling Duck. You can use these blending brushes and like rewash them and reuse them. So if you didn't want to have. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up your ink and swirl off to give that smooth look. And then we're just going to come on to our paper project and we're going to go around. Okay, and it's easier to have a light touch and then add that bit of dark when you need it. Last night I happened to look out the window and the sky was beautiful. The beautiful sunsets now when it gets to be fall are really, really pretty. I captured it, but I think it would be more gorgeous if you were out in like an open spot. All right, so now we're gonna add some Timid Tiger and we're gonna make sure we don't move our ping. And I'm just gonna come in and add that little bit of orange. And you can add as much Timid Tiger as you want or as little. You can see on this one here, I kind of went really, really dark with my orange. And then really it's just making sure you're blending it and smoothing it. And then you're gonna come back in with that Darling Duck and just keep smoothing it out until you get that look that you like. Let's go in a little bit more with our Timid Tiger here. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's just put these aside and let's close this so I don't stick, oh, I need that one. So I don't stick my fingers in it because I had to do that. We're gently going to pull this up. And when we do, we have that beautiful mask that shows us the beautiful sky. How beautiful is that? All right, we're gonna do some stamping. So let's bring in that Prairie Grass Stamp Set. It is a big one, so you do need a big block. I found that I was using block F, or if you have like some type of, whatchamacallit, like stamping apparatus for helping you stamp, that would work too. All right, so let me just clean up what I need here for a minute. Oh my goodness, got stuff everywhere. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so let's bring in Secret Sea. And I'm doing a light touch on near the top, but then kind of going heavy near the bottom. I think hopefully I don't get too much there. All right, this is a big block, so I found the easiest way is to hold it like this, and I want it to be a little bit over that sunset. We're just gonna put it down, give it a nice little push, and lift up. And there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it. It's like we're sitting on our deck. Yeah, around my deck, I have that tall, tall grass, and we're just watching the sunset. How beautiful and peaceful is that? Very peaceful. This set is gorgeous. Okay. I'm going to bring back in that Timid Tiger ink, and we're going to do a little bit more sponging, and I'm just going to go down here on the horizon. So just like that. How beautiful is that? Oh, so beautiful. Okay, let's move this off to the side, and we'll bring in the rest of our pieces to put our card together. And then this will be card number 1. Okay, so we're gonna layer this onto our Secret Sea piece. And then we're gonna layer this onto our card base, which is cloud cover. Now, I'm quickly going to bring in a piece to stamp on, and I'm going to use my little mini cutter. So we're going to bring that in. So let's just stamp first. We're going to stamp the greeting. You're not alone. I'm here for you, which is a beautiful greeting. I think all right now people in this day and times can use a little bit of cheering up. So sending them a card in the mail is like giving them a hug in person. Just imagine having a rough day and you go to your mailbox and you're like, ugh, there's just gonna be bills and flyers, and then you go and guess what? There's this beautiful card from a friend just to let them know that they were thinking of you. How special is that? And when they say we should make a card and send a card is what we should do. So let me just, I'm using, this was our little mini cutter that Stampin' Up! Had out many, oops, I think I wasn't straight on that. And I always feel like I'm gonna chop my finger. And my friend said she took the guard off. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Okay, so let's move this aside. And I'm gonna bring in some the Secret Sea, so give me a minute. All right, so 1.5. So if I do 2 by 1, we should be good. All right, so let's move this off to the side. Oh my gosh, you should see my desk. It's so messy right now. All right, let's bring in this. And we'll put that on there. I might just, I like that little bit of layering. My thing is there. And then I'll just bring back in that little paper trimmer and trim off our little bit there. Okay, so there is, and we're gonna add some dimensionals. I'm up early doing this video so that I don't get interruptions, and hopefully we don't have any. All right, let's just put this down and let me bring that in and show you. Is that not a beautiful card? Would you not love to receive that in the mail from a friend, letting them know they're thinking of you? All right, so there is the first card in our Prairie Grass Product of the Week card class. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's move on to the second one. So the second one is we're going to do a little bit of masking, and I'll show you that. So here is the card that we are going to make. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to teach you how to create these strips in a little bit of a half moon, and we're going to do that one. So let's get, we're going to start working. Our base is Darling Duckling, which is one of those in colors, and those in colors are on sale. Select in colors are on sale right now until August 31st, 15% off. So Darling Duck, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. All right, and then we have our Secret Sea. So we can go ahead and put this down. And that layer is 4 by 5.25. And I'm in North America. I'm in Canada, so those are the Canadian North America measurements. All right, and you know what? We're just gonna stamp our greeting while we have this out, and then we'll just be able to. So the one we're gonna use now is called Sometimes Life is Hard, and I think that is just, these days, I don't know. I just think of what life used to be like when I was young and little, and life was so simple. Now it just seems to be so complicated. but that's okay. We learn strategies to deal with it. And crafting is one of them for me. I learned to escape and craft. Crafting really makes me happy. I love crafting with friends. I love hanging out with friends. It's just so much fun. If you are on my mailing list, you will be receiving my class list this weekend. I will be sending them out. I have all my classes scheduled from now till December. And I will be doing in-person classes. And then obviously we'll continue with my product of the week in videos. I just need to figure out how to move forward with that. So we're going to, okay, so there is our little card. So we'll just put that off to the side. So let's go ahead and bring in our next piece. So this piece is up. Make sure that's the right size. Yes. Okay, so there's that one. So on this one, we're going to use masking paper. And I have to tell you, I've had masking paper sitting in my desk for so long and I never used it. It wasn't until our team meeting, so I'm the leader of the Stamp to Create group here in Canada, and my team member Marion did a presentation in July, and it was called reverse masking, and she used masking paper, and I was like, what? That looks so easy. I've never used it before. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you how to use it because maybe you have it sitting in your desk too. All right, this is our masking paper. You can see that it's split. And what I'm just going to do is just cut like a little 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to go 5 because that is what my measurement is. And then I'm going to do another one that is probably 1 1/4. And then make sure you save those pieces because you can always use little pieces for something. Now, when I sat down to create my projects on the weekend, I learned a few things about masking paper. So let me share that with you. So the first time I did my masking paper, used masking paper. So this side is smooth. This side is smooth. This is the sticky. So you can see it's sticking to my finger, right? And I found when I first put it down and went to remove it, it ripped my paper. So what I found was take this sticky part and literally put it on your shirt, put it on your pants, your shorts. Oh, and I just ripped it. Oh, hopefully that's going to be enough here. And I found that just by doing that, it really helped pulling it off. Okay, so we're going to do that again. We're going to peel off this one. And I'm just going to stick this here. And we're going to put that. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Now what I did was I wanted to create this half moon look. So we're going to use a 1.5 inch circle punch. I'm just going to pop that in there like that. All right, and then save these because you could use those for other pieces. So I just put them into my masking paper. You get 12 sheets for $9.75. All right, we're going to pull this up. And see sticky side, and literally just gonna put it on my shirt, get all that stickies off. And what I'm going to do is just lay it down there. I just want to sometimes grab something here for a minute. All right, let's see, that's it there for a minute. Okay, so we are ready to go. So now we're going to do our blending. So on this card, we're going to start with Old Olive. And we're going to use our blending brushes. Now, as for this one, I'm actually just going to pull everything. Oops, I hit my light. Oh, geez. Hopefully that looks, okay, hold on. Oh. Man, what did I do? There we go. I think that's, maybe it's more. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's it. Whew, hit some buttons. Crazy. Okay, so we're going to use the large blending brush. So you can see that they are definitely bigger and smaller. As I said to you, I find I have more control over the small one than the big one. It's just that much harder to blend with. So let's just pick up, once again, same way, swirl that blending brush on your ink pad, all right? And then swirl off. I might need to pick up some more ink here. Let me press a little harder. Swirl off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create that layer of Old Olive, Timid Tiger, and Duckling. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. It's first too early in the morning. Oh, this is what we learn to pivot. You know, that's our new word, pivot. And the more you blend, the more it will become that smoother look. Maybe going up and down, just like around. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that for now. We're gonna bring in Timid Tiger, as I said to you, which is a great color for the fall. And I'm so excited about the fall. It's been very hot here this summer, like very hot and humid. And I'm grateful that it's been cooler. Okay, so I'm just going like blending down and kind of trying to smooth that transition. All right, and now we're going to bring in our Darling Duckling and go from here. All right, same thing, just going to bring it up and try to smooth that color. And do it again. Okay, and I'm happy with that. I'm just going to put these off to the side because we're going to use them again for our next one. Oh, goodness, I thought that landed on my card. I was going to be like, no! Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're slowly going to peel off this paper. So let's just, and if I did it right with enough stickies, just slowly pull it, you will get that crisp, clean line showing you like how you like, isn't that fun? All right, so let's go pull, we're gonna pull off our moon or our sun, however you want to. And then we're gonna pull off this layer and just slowly do that. Like I said, rubbing it on your clothing or some type of cloth will definitely help it to peel off a little bit easier. Okay, so now let's bring in that big stamp again. So we can stamp, and we're gonna stamp in Secret Sea. So we're just gonna lightly do the top and then down here a little bit more. I think the Secret Sea color, I love. It's my new black. I use it all the time. All right, so big block again. I kind of want that little bit of the taller grass coming over my, little bit over my moon sunset there. Push it down, and there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh my gosh, love. All right, let's pull this back and bring in our second card. These will all be up on my blog too. I will be showcasing these. Like I said, I'm gonna put this video will be added to YouTube, and then it will be up on my blog, but all the individual cards are also on my blog. So you will be able to go there and find the video or the measurements and stuff if you want to recreate. Okay, so there's our second card. Sometimes life is just hard. Isn't that a cool technique? And I was saying, like, last night when I tried to do this video, I was saying, like, no matter, like, you can see I really blended here. And I'm not sure if it's because maybe my blending brushes are a little more not as used, but you could no two cards are going to be the same when you do this technique. And I'll show you the 3 different cards when we're done. All right, so that is our second card in here. And I have one more to share with you. So our last card I'm sharing with you is this one. And I'm going to tell you my thought process on it. So first, when I was creating this, I wanted to show you masking done in a different way. So what I did was I stamped this grass onto my masking paper and I cut it out. And then I put it down on my paper. Then what I did was I did my blending. But then when I pulled off the masking, I had all this white showing. I didn't really like it. So that's when I kind of colored it in. And my friend was here crafting with me and I was like, oh, I don't know. And she goes, I think you need more of a solid image than like an open line. And I'm like, yes, you're right. So then I was like, okay, how can I show you this? So then I just started playing. I was like, you know what, let's just create a background. So I did Old Olive, Timid Tiger, Darling Duck. I added on some speckle, which I call like is where you take your black marker and splatting. As if you're taking a paintbrush, you dipped it in your paint can and you splatted it on your wall. Then I added a little bit of Winkastella, and then I added water drops, and I think I had too much on my hand because this is what it looks like. Here is the card that I made in the video last night on Facebook. So you can see it has a different look. So this is the one we're going to create today. And then I'm going to bring in all the cards, and I have some other samples to share with you. Okay, so our base is a basic white, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have that Secret Sea layer, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna put this aside. So I'm just gonna move this over. We're going to bring in, I just wanna make sure I have the right layer here. Yes, so we're going to bring this in and we're going to create our background. So let's bring back in our paper. You know what, I'm just going to fold the inside here. I've got so much going on. All right, now this one, we're just creating a background, but I'm gonna show you how to add that different textures to it to build up. Okay, so we're using Old Olive. We're just gonna start and blend. And I keep forgetting, when you're blending, dab off and then roll it on. So you're not getting that like harsh, see how I kind of got that harsh look? Okay, we're just gonna keep going and going. All right, I think I might need some more. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm gonna put that aside for now. Let's bring in our Timid Tiger, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna pick up some ink, go off, roll it on. Okay, oh no, look, I got some ink in my, that's okay, we'll fix that. See, I don't know, maybe I'll put the greeting up there. We're gonna fix that. We're just gonna leave it. I'm gonna show you how you can fix mistakes. Okay, so we're just gonna pick up some more. I think maybe when I moved my ink pad, I'm gonna come down and smooth out that right there. Okay, so there's that. Move that off to the side. Now I'm going to bring in my, my Darling Duckling. And I see that it has, the one thing about this is you get ink everywhere. You need to be close to a sink or have wet things on your hand. Okay, we're gonna go over that. So we're gonna fix that, not to worry. I'm gonna put the greeting there. Oops, and I kind of went in. All right, so just kind of really bringing in this sun. And I forgot to dab off a few times. Did you see that? Okay. Actually, they kind of look like birds flying in my air. All right, so I'm gonna come back in with that Timid Tiger. So let's pick that up, go off. And smooth that out a little bit. Do that again. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's leave that like that. So I'm gonna move all my blending brushes. Now, like I said, I can go rinse this underwater and let them air dry. They will be fine. I might do that and just give them a good clean because I've used them a lot this week. And then I will reuse them again for those colors. So let's put away. So that was Old Olive, Timid Tiger, and Darling Duck. And I wanted to use the same colors to show you what that looks like through the 3 different projects. Just cleaning my stamp here. All right, so let's bring in that. I'm going to move this off to the side here a little bit. Let's bring this big stamp in. And we're just going to... So you will not find this stamp set in a catalog. It is in our online exclusives. The easiest way to use our online exclusives is go to my blog, www.stampwithan.com, click shop now. Once you're in that store, the easiest way I look for stuff is I search it. I just type in prairie grass and it will come up. But you can also go to a section called online exclusives and it will be right there. Okay, we're gonna fix that up. So I am going to bring in, I think I have a nice, this should work. We're going to use the stamp set that says, sending healing power of love. I love that. Should be a quote on a wall. I think I need a little bigger piece. Oh yes, this will work. I have a little basket in my desk drawer with little scraps. So when I'm doing things like this, I could easily just, all right. There's that. I'll clean up all those stamps after and give them a good white. Let's bring in our little mini cutter. And we're just going to chop and hope that I don't get ink everywhere. And let's just do a little bit of trimming on the bag. So let's do a recap. We are using the Prairie Grass embossing folder. We are using the Prairie Grass Stamp Set in masking paper. That is our product of the week. I am going to upload, see, look at that. We didn't even, we're going to do a little bit of other things before we do that. Okay, so let's pull that in. I have a black marker. If you're following Stampin' Up! Or in the Stampin' Up! News, you would know that our Stampin' Up! Has discontinued our Stampin' Right markers. They are still available. They've moved to the last chance list. They decided to discontinue these markers based on sales were low because a lot of people use your Stampin' Blend. Here, shout out, raise your hand. I'm a huge Stampin' Blend person. I can't tell you the last time I used a Stampin' Right marker. I use it more for what I'm going to show you. And the other reason was you could color on the red rubber, and since we're not going to have red rubber stamps, they decided to do that. All right, the marker is in my right hand and the lid is in my left, and what I'm going to do is just like pull down. So like imagine you put your paintbrush into your paint can and you're going to splat it against the wall. That is what we're doing. So we're just adding that little bit of splat right there. Okay, so just like that. Now we'll add a little bit of Wink of Stella, which I think I need to get a new one, or I think I have some. So I'm just gonna add some here, get some, I don't want too much. And then I'm just going to tap it. And you can see you get that little bit of dazzling sparkle, which is a really cool technique. And I'm gonna have that all over my fingers. Okay, so let's just pull this in. Let's pull our card base in. And I'm just going to actually just use this for a minute to put my paper down. All right. Oh, I've got sparkles everywhere. Okay, so there's that. Now, what did I do? Oh, here's our greeting. So let's pull in our greeting. We're going to cover up that big blotch. That's the art of paper crafting. You can cover up your mistakes, right? Look at that. Voila, doesn't even know it happened. Okay, there is our third card in our Prairie Grass series. What do you think? Like I said to you, each time you do this, your card is not going to look like the same as the first one. Let's bring in all the cards we made tonight, and then I'm going to share some other samples with you. So card number 1, we focused on using masking as a stencil. So you can see I've created those 3 cards. Our second one was showcasing masking strips and creating a mask for a moon. There is our 3 cards. And then our last one showcased just more of, like you can see, like there's 3 cards that don't even look the same. Blending, like creating a background with blending brushes and that. So there is those 3 right there. And I also have some other cards to share with you. So let me quickly share. As I said to you, this stamp set is perfect for leading. Let me just put these here so I have more room to show you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. As I said, I'm going to put this video on YouTube. This video will be on my blog. I'm going to give you the measurements for all 3 cards. It'll be on the YouTube link and it'll also be on my blog. So this one I've already posted. It was on my blog on Monday. I love the Thoughtful Journey stamp set. I'm sorry, Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper works perfect with this stamp set because the backgrounds are watercolor look. Beautiful, beautiful. So there is So Very Sorry, using the Thoughtful Journey in the Prairie Grass. The second card that I created was once again using the Thoughtful Journey stamp set. Thoughtful Journey stamps, no. Oh my gosh. I haven't had my morning breakfast and chocolate milk. Oh my gosh. Okay. I used the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper, paired it with the Prairie Grass. Isn't that beautiful? I love this color. This really looks fallish to me. But what a nice way to let someone know you're thinking of them. So there's that one. And then the last one I did was I did a little bit of watercoloring. So I used our watercolor, so our fluent watercolor paper. I used, like, I have, where are they? Where is it here? I have Stampin' Up's old Aqua Blender. If I can find it in my drawer. Oh, here it is. I have like an old aqua painter, so you just fill it with water. Stampin' Up doesn't carry watercolor per se right now, but you can find them probably somewhere else. So what I did was I dipped my ink. I pressed ink into my lid. I picked it up with a little bit of water and I did a background wash. So I did Pool Party, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia. I did it light. I didn't want it to be so dark, but you can go as dark as light as you want. And I stamped the grass and the greeting on there. So there are the 6 cards showcasing, let's just move these up for you, showcasing the Prairie Grass Stamp Set. As I said to you, this is one that you're going to want in your collection. It is a keeper. I will never sell this one. It is staying in my collection. I want to know, do you have the Prairie Grass? Have you checked it out? Maybe my projects today will inspire you to either head to the online store and order it and add it to your cart, or maybe it'll inspire you to pull yours off the shelf and create with it. Want some more ideas using this stamp set? Definitely check it out on Pinterest. All right, everyone, let's do a quick recap. I am going to put this video on YouTube. It'll be on my blog today, which is Thursday, August, oh my gosh, 28th. Can you believe that? Crazy, the 28th of August. And I will post the rest of the projects on my blog throughout the week. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. As I said, videoing right now, doing videos on Facebook is giving us a little bit of, not sure, so I'm going to have to pivot and figure out. You might see some videos like this for a little bit till I figure out what I need to do in my next steps. But I'm going to figure it out. We're going to keep crafting together. So have a great, wonderful rest of your day. And if you're watching on the replay, which all you guys will be, please let me know. I would love to know what you thought of our cards. All right, everyone, thanks so much and have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye.